And that kind of leads into this idea of, are we overthinking this? Are we not 35 years over the age of the target audience? Isn't this just fun and bright, shiny lights and noise for the children? And I was in a very mixed crowd. Like, I think the youngest was like 7 and the oldest was like 50 or something like that. This is appealing to a whole bunch of people. And I don't know how many of them were there to write reviews about the movie. Like, that might be a case of it too. That kind of it skews older than you might think because people want to talk about it on the internet. That's entirely possible. But I think the idea that this is just a kids' movie, therefore we need to shut up and enjoy the ride, is misplaced. Because I think a children's movie would need to be written differently and with less complexity and less subtlety than something aimed at adults. But you can still tell a good story. And just saying it's for children is not an excuse to tell a broken, this is not that broken. It's just not good enough, right? But I don't think that's an excuse. And in fact, isn't this like if there's people always talk about messages and lessons and morals in movies? Like, if any movie should have that, then it's something like Sonic that's aimed at 8-year-olds or 10-year-olds, right? Like, why aren't you telling a story about responsibility or about compassion or about second chances or something, right? Like, this is kind of leaning onto those subject matters, right? And why are we not teaching like 9-year-olds a story in which Sonic grows up and or Shadow kind of rethinks his cynicism or begins thinking about other people for the first time? Like, can't you do that? Like, is that too much to expect?
I feel like, again, perfect target audience to be sort of teaching them those things, and teaching them, like, setting these examples, because, like, this is part of their learning. This is part of sort of where they're getting the development from. Obviously not just like the parents and friends and stuff like that. It's like what they consume and sort of how they see sort of like right from wrong, and how they see sort of how to treat other people and stuff like that. There's a lot to kind of like be picked up from these movies. So some of the best sort of animated movies, your Pixar movies, etc., handle these themes really well. And again, it's like it's a nice mix of things that will get the children sort of engaged and excited, but at the same time will have some type of like moral or some type of like purpose to sort of the story that they're trying to tell in this. And I feel like a lot of that's lacking, and a lot of it is hidden behind it's just a movie for kids, and we can just make it like dumb fun for them.
Yeah, and like I've said before, that a movie aimed at adults should not have morals and should not teach lessons. It should present arguments or ideas. Because if you're an adult, you should, number one, probably shouldn't get your value system from a Sonic movie. And you probably have better sources, or should have better sources, than blockbuster action movies, right? But if it's aimed at children, then like that's where you put that, right? So the fact that it's like your target audience is like children just means you need to make the lesson simpler and more obvious, right? That's kind of the writing lesson there, I think. And I don't think that's an excuse in general. Like often people will excuse bad writing to say, yeah, but that 9-year-old over there liked it. Like, you want to fight that 9-year-old? It's like, no, actually, I want that 9-year-old to get better movies. Like, a movie can be fun and have quality as well, right? And I don't think this is a bad movie exactly. It's more like you're already like putting together a scenario that lends itself to these kinds of topics, but then you shy away from something that actually makes sense, and it's purely just a cartoon, like in the worst sense of the word.